sorry, Dato. Before we kickstart our speech by Dato Ambiga, again, friends from Bandar Utama, we need your help. We need some fun to move towards Putrajaya. Can you do that? We need your donation. Thank you so much. So the boxes will be, we'll pass around. So wherever you can. Thank you.
请大家出钱出力支持我们的运动，希望我们可以，请大家，我们经常会有那个募捐箱，到处分派，希望你们可以慷慨解囊，谢谢。
Now give your big hands to Dato Ambiga.
Saudara-saudari, salam sejahtera dan salam bersih. Todorgalai, vanakkam. Ni hao ma. Okay, that's the majority here tonight. Okay, Siva talked to you a little bit about history, but I'm going to ask you a question. Are you ready to be a part of the history of Malaysia on the 5th of May 2013? You jump! Okay, let me go back a little bit. I know there are lawyers here, so I will just go back in history a little bit. Do you remember the Walk for Justice?
Yes.
Well, the lawyers remember it.
Yes.
I'm sure all of you remember it.
Yes.
But that's when we walked. We walked for justice. We walked for a specific reason. We walked for the strengthening of our judiciary. After that, there was Bersih 1. I was not there, but they walked. They walked for clean and fair elections. Bersih 2, we walked for clean and fair elections. Bersih 3, we walked for clean and fair elections. And in the next 7 days, this will be our walk for freedom. Freedom from what? Freedom from corruption. Freedom from abuse of power. Freedom from cronyism. Freedom from deaths in custody. And just let me tell you, Subuma, who was killed and whose body is awaiting a second post-mortem, it has now been nearly 80 days and they have not approved a second post-mortem. Is that even civilized? Is that what we want in this society? Do we want Teo Beng Hock? And don't ever forget Teo Beng Hock when you're going to vote. Do we want Aminul Rashid, a youngster who was shot? Do we want any of these incidents happening? Because let me tell you, it matters. Because it could happen to any one of us. It could happen to any one of our children. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, these next elections are really going to be the most important elections in the history of this country. And I predict that we are going to have the highest voter turnout on the 5th of May 2013. Now you know, and Bersih has been saying it over and over again, we do not have a level playing field. I think we've all worked that one out, right? I mean, electoral roll, things like that, you may not appreciate. But you can see what's happening in front of you. The kind of advertising that is going on. Giving opposition 10 minutes to present their manifesto. It's ridiculous. It's an insult to our intelligence, actually. That's what it is. Some of these ads that we see are an insult to our intelligence. Have you seen those billboards which say, oh, do you want keamanan or you want huru-hara? Have you seen those? What is that? What are they? It's uncivilized, absolutely. And again, it insults our intelligence. That's the problem. They don't realize that when they put ads like the ads that they do in the press, that it says a lot about them, but it also says a lot about what they think of us. And I'm sorry, it's a miscalculation. They have underestimated the decency of the Malaysian public. That's their problem. Talking about the media for a minute. I remember a friend of mine, he said, you know, I buy the mainstream press and I start reading it from the back page. So I said, why? Is that where you get the truth? Because at least obituaries, you know, is the truth. Sports news is the truth. Okay, and as you progress to the front page, it becomes less and less truthful. So I cracked this joke once, and then a friend of mine SMS'd me a couple of days ago and said, gosh, it's all your fault, because now they're publishing these wretched ads at the back. Am I right? I don't know whether that's true. So I thought, well, if it's on the obituary page, then that's pretty telling. That's all right. Let them be there. So anyway, the point is this. Those huge ads that are coming out in the press, I don't think the public who are reading those newspapers are taken up by any of that in any way. I don't think that they influence them. I hope not.